everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome to another fabulous episode of Pay It Forward. I want to thank all of you who have watched my previous episode where I have talked about my journey through depression and shown me so much of love and so much of support. Thank you so much. I hope that video is able to help you in any way possible. I got a lot of messages from friends and other people on my social media, Facebook, Instagram, even on WhatsApp, where people have connected with what I have said and they have shared their own stories with me, and I'm so happy that the video is going places and going to people. As you all know that I have been doing a series of videos on mental health awareness which started in the beginning of May and is continuing throughout June. So it gives me immense happiness to say that the guest for today is somebody who has already appeared on Pay It Forward on a previous episode where we talked about her venture Vedas and the She Saga. Please join me in welcoming the guest for today, Vedaprana Purkayastha. In this episode, we will be focusing on Veda's mental health journey, a journey she embarked on to take care of her own mental health, her own challenges, which now has led her to a place where she is helping others achieve some form of mental peace. Chalo, let's witness another amazing story of health and recovery. Hi Vedaprana, welcome back to Pay It Forward again. I want to tell my viewers that Vedaprana had already been to Pay It Forward and we had talked about her venture Vedas and the She Saga, where she is trying to promote the handloom industry of India by promoting saris and Indian traditional wear. But in this video, we will be talking about something completely different. We will not be talking about the She Saga, or probably we'll be talking about the She Saga in some way. Welcome to Pay It Forward, Veda. I'm so happy to see you here.
So am I, Monica. Thank you for having me again.
For most of us, it so happens that we are so busy in our daily lives that we don't really assess our mental health at all. Like, we don't have time to assess the mental health at all. So what was it in your life, what was that point in your life when you understood that, okay, something is happening and probably, it is affecting my daily life, and this is the point where I stop and assess my mental health. When did that happen?
So it started way back in 2009. My daughter was born. My daughter was born in 2009. I would not call it postpartum because my sadness started when I realized I would have to give her birth in US and my parents won't be there, anybody won't be there, and that fear, that apprehension, whether I'll be able to do it or not, and that's when my sadness started.
Right.
And then after she was born, managing everything all by myself, my body was in lot of pain, which is very common, breastfeeding,
Right.
and the back pain was terrible. And it went on for like quite around 3-4 years. So I have seen many doctors. Like about the pain. I took injections in US.
Right.
I'm talking about. So,
Right.
Injections I took, like painkiller injections, but nobody could figure out what I was going through, why the pain was so unbearable, because it
Right.
was almost 3 years. She was like growing up. Of course, my work pressure was coming down and I was at home. I was not working. So there was no extra pressure other than taking care of her and the household chores. So that's when it became unbearable. I remember I used to cry and I used to think I'm crying because of pain, which is true, which was actually true. But there was a void, huge void, and I could realize that I'm not a very mother kind of a person who would just love to take care of the child and not do anything else. But I had no work permits, nothing. So when she was 3 years old, I remember I almost ran back to India because, US was not suiting me because I had no work permit, and taking care of a child and household chores all day was getting very depressing for me. But I did not know mental health. I did not know depression. I did not know sadness and depression are two different terms. and there is something clinical about it. I had no clue. I remember I came back to India, then I went back to UK, and my legs were in pain since 2009. Tremendous pain. My leg pain was like unbearable. I would almost look crippled at times, you know. My parents would be very sad to see me walking like that, like as if I'm holding a stick, I would bend. So I remember I went to a UK, I saw a Bangladeshi doctor. I still remember her so clearly. It was 2015. So 6 years it has been. All good hospitals in India, Kolkata, Bangalore, Guwahati, you know, I have seen all good doctors. Nothing worked. So I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, which is related to depression in 2014 in Kolkata. And doctor said there is no, you know, treatment for it. So you have to live with it. You have to learn to manage yourself. 2015, I was in UK again when it went up, and I saw a Bangladeshi doctor. She talked to me for a while and she said, go back to India. And I was like, why? And she said, no, you go back to India because that's your place and that's why you are so sad. And your sadness is resulting in your body pain. It was not easy for me to understand that, you know, it was manifesting as physical pain. But I remember she put me on antidepressants. That was the first time I was put on antidepressants in 2015. I kept talking to her. She was not a therapist. She was a normal, you know, doctor of medicine. But she kept talking to me and she kept telling me that, you know, because you are not working, because you are not living your dreams, and probably you are a woman who has dreams. This is why you are just getting into sadness every other day, and it is now becoming chronic. Anyway, the depression antidepressants helped for a while. 3 months I took. I came back to India. I started working, but my leg pain never went off, you know. It was always there. It was always there. Like too much some days. With time, I started realizing the days I'm low, the pain is high.
Oh, okay,
Initially, I could not figure out because there would be many low days, right? So many things are not working in my favor or the way I'm planning it. So many struggles, so many problems. And the pain would be like tremendous. Someone touching it and, you know, just poking it would make me scream. It was that pain, especially my thighs. So I remember I started TSS in 2015. I was put on antidepressants on 2015. That's when the pain actually came down. My husband used to teach me, is it antidepressant or is it because you are on social media, you know, exploring new stuff? Is it that you are that person who loves social media? Because I did not even know social media so closely before that. So we kept talking about it. But mental health, honestly, I will not say that I was aware. This lady I trusted who put me on antidepressants, I started having. So then I came back to India. I again started working. I had my son. My daughter was almost grown up by then. But it was there. That's when I found a psychiatrist in India, in Bangalore. A friend recommended that, you know, even I go through, you know, lots of, you know, anxiety and all. Why don't you see her because of your anxiety, she told me. So this lady said, you have chronic depression. I said, no. I don't see myself as someone having chronic depression because on social media, people see me as the happiest person, right? And I'm happy when I'm posting. So, but then there are moments when people don't see me. And then there will be, you know, 2 days, 3 days when people don't see me on social media. And then next 3 days, I'll be extremely active. So those were the phases of depression that I was not aware of. So she said, you are in chronic depression because your sadness has been too long now. So she put me again on antidepressants. I would speak to her. I would, you know, take medicines, give up within 15 days. I was like, no, I was putting on weight. That would make me very conscious. So it has been going on like that. In 2020, during the pandemic, by then I knew that I have chronic depression. Whether I take medicine or I don't take medicine, I was aware of this. And that's when I actually started taking interest in psychology also. I wanted to know what was going on. Why was it making me so, you know, it's like this. So that's when I started, it was during pandemic when I took up a course in counseling, diploma in counseling. I thought I would learn to help others and to help me first. I still remember, so as a part of that course, it was, you know, you have to go for counseling yourself for 24 sessions. Because unless you know yourself, how do you, you know, understand others?
Absolutely.
So that was a part of the course. Thank God it was a part of the course. Or else I probably would have never gone for, you know, therapy for so long. Because every psychiatrist or psychologist I was talking to, I did talk to a few. As a mother also, I was failing here and there, you know. I could not continue for too long, because somewhere they would make me a bit uncomfortable and I would give up.
Right.
So that was the time. So 24 sessions was like mandatory. You have to go for that, and even the fees was covered in the course. So there was nothing that you need to stop. Yeah.
So you have no
So
excuses to stop now.
nothing, no excuse, also no reason. So I was quite excited to see what, like 2-3 sessions I gave up. So what will this woman do with me for 24 sessions? I mean, how much will I talk? That was my worry. What will I talk about? So this lady, I still remember, it was around 4th or 5th session when I started realizing she was judging me.
Okay.
She was judging me. But everything I say, she said, no, Veda, it does not work that way. So my points were not validated. Whatever I'm saying, this person is hurting me. No, this person is not hurting me. You are hurting yourself. And I was like, what is she talking about? So this made me a bit, I remember 9th session, I almost cried. And went to the facilitator and said, you need to change my counselor. She said, we don't have that provision. 9 sessions over, for next 15, we are not going to change. I said, no, she's judging me. I said, it's not possible. We're trained psychologists. She cannot judge me. So what happened then? What happened after the 9th session was, this is a little funny for me, and this is the life-changing moment for me. So this lady would, anything I would tell you, like, Monica, I'm so much in pain because this person is doing this to me, which is causing the pain. And you are asking me, what does it say about you, Veda? And I'm like, what is this? I mean, this person is hurting me, so I'm hurt. What does it say about me? With time, she taught me it's so much our way of looking at things, right? This person is doing what this person knows. He or she does not know more than that, right? How am I reacting to it is important, because do I know more than what I know right now? Am I willing to, change my ways and see if it works? It took me 9-10 sessions, Monica, to understand a lot of my pain that I was not even aware of was because of my thought process.
Right.
Because I was thinking that, this person should do this to me, that person should talk to me like this, I should be treated this way, and the society, whatever is happening in the society, I need to change that. This is my responsibility. Too many things would make me very rebellious, very anxious. I forgot to take care of myself. When I was actually thinking that I'm taking care of myself is why I'm fighting with the wrong, I was actually not taking care of myself. So it was this moment of my life, 2020, when I realized that a lot of my depression was because not about the surrounding, which was a little problematic then because of few things, but it is also because how I was looking at it. Right. So mental health awareness came to me then, honestly. I know the definition of depression, I knew the definition of anxiety, I knew the words, but what it is actually I understood only in 2020. I don't know if I made sense to your question or I digressed too much.
No, this is so important, because in life there are so many things that we are already aware of. हम बच्चे होते हैं तब से हमें ये चीजें पता होती हैं, but the realization, that's why I asked you that question, कि वो realize कब हुआ? Because even I have gone through therapy and I struggled with depression and anxiety and everything for 20 years before it hit me that something is wrong, that it is impacting my mental health. So it can take a hell lot of a time to come to this realization that you need to do something about it. It is not external, it is internal.
It's very complicated. Even when you and me are thinking and we have understood, even if we go and tell this to a few others, they won't be able to easily make out, what we are actually talking about. It's very complicated.
It is very complicated. And, I'm so happy that eventually, over time, at least you were able to realize this. And I completely resonate with this one thing that you said, that you hated your therapist, because I felt the same. And initial few sessions, I don't know, it's a very common thing. I read up also about it. Everybody hates their therapist in the beginning because they are showing us our mirrors, that this is how you are reacting. This is how you are acting. We don't want to hear कि हम कैसे react करेंगे.
We only want to know that you are like, we love being victimized, कोई आके बोलेगा कि these people are doing so much bad to you. Oh my God, how are you
Oh my God,
tolerating?
yes.
And then you're like, oh my God, I've been so strong.
Right,
That's
right.
not actually the case. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I completely resonate with that. And now moving on to something that you have already touched upon, I am so in awe of this fact that not only did you kind of dealt with your own set of mental health issues, but you came to a point in your life where you decided that I am going to learn about it so I can help others. You know, that is a major shift because हमें अपने ही बारे में नहीं पता होता है. We are not able to understand our own mind, तो हम दूसरे के mind को क्या ही treat कर सकते हैं. So this is something that I really, really admire. I want to know actually how was the process of, like you have already spoken about your therapy, that is one part of it. Other than that, I want to know कि जब आप study कर रहे थे, you know, I'm sure you must have come to those moments of realization. वो light bulb moment होता है ना जब आप पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं and then you realize, oh, okay, you know, this is what I feel, and this is how I need to kind of modulate my behavior. So ऐसे moments थे when you were studying.
Okay, so to be very honest, I'm not a very bookish kind of a person. I'm a very, I'll say practical as in if I talk to you, I learn more than I read a book. So I have always been very vocal and very talkative, and I love talking to people. Hearing about their experiences have always given me more insights. So what happened when I was doing the course, all thanks to the course basically, that was very less theories and a lot more talking. So we were 22 students in the batch and we were given book reading classes. So you read a book, you relate with your life and you open up. So since I have been an open person, it helped. So I remember I read a few books and I was like, oh my God, are they talking about me? There is some void. There is some more desires to do more. There are some aspirations which are like kept dormant somewhere. So the more I read those books, and because we had to talk about our experiences related to the book, you did not have to go and tell that this book, this chapter talked about this, but any random chapter you pick, you connect with your life experience and you speak. I spoke, my 21 other fellow classmates spoke. That's when actually the light bulbs, like you say, the light bulbs. Hearing them talk, like, I have been doing this for years, and then suddenly I realized that if I just change the pattern, like I've been writing A, and my life is giving me the result B. What if I write? The result will definitely not be B, right? Result will be B or E or something. So let's try C. So those were the few moments that they shared. Even when I was talking, I realized, what was happening inside. Some difficult topic probably that I have never spoken to anyone, that I have always kept hidden inside. But I could open up in that class because everybody spoke about the very, deepest secrets of their life. And every other person listened. All those insights came then. And I won't say that it came then and I was totally done with getting insights. I'm learning still, Monica. To be very honest, I'll go out of this session and I'll think about how Monica spoke and what I said, and then few other light bulbs will open up even then.
Right. Yeah, because learning is like lifelong. It never stops. At no point in our lives we will say, okay, अब मुझे सब कुछ पता है. And I have learned everything.
I know. I'm talking about 2020, 2021, right? When I realized so many things about myself. And today's 2023, so 2 years gone. Trust me, I look 6 months back and I realized, oh my God, I was that immature 6 months back.
Right.
So, and I think next another 6 months down the line, I'll always consider even today's date as, okay. So, I didn't know this then, but I know it now. So every day I'm learning, I'm exploring honestly a lot, talking to more people, trying to figure out what other changes can be made in our thought processes. That helps a lot.
It does. And this sort of self-realization, it is such a powerful feeling that you get, okay, this is something new that I have learned that I did not know before. And it is a positive thing. It is not telling me that I am ignorant. It is not saying that I don't know anything. No. It is a very positive thing that you have learned something new. You have realized something new about yourself. Totally agree with that. So tell me, this is one thing that people struggle with it a lot. And like you said that you spoke about like 22 of you spoke about your darkest secrets and all the negative aspects of your life. How does one come to a point where you are not judging the person in front of you? Because this is something that all of us struggle with. हम assumptions बना लेते हैं सामने वाले आदमी को लेके कि ये तो ऐसा ही होगा, and we are so quick to judge. वो कैसे कंट्रोल में आया है, या what are the practical exercises that we can do कि हम ना करें?
This is a very, I would say, very relative thing, right? एक तो है, it's a lot about our personalities, how we grew up. We have inherited a lot of traits from our parents and their parents.
Right.
So I have always seen my mother judging someone. That would come very naturally to me, and not that I am actually very negative a person, but that is a part of me, right?
Right.
But this course, when you do psychology or you are into a practical course like I did, this is what you were taught. So for very first 2-3 classes, I still remember our facilitator kept stressing on one thing. It's a very controversial topic, but she kept stressing on one particular topic. I don't know which actually made me understand that there is no space for judging when you are, trying to be a therapist. So she used to tell us always, she's quite older than me and all. So she used to tell us that in my experience as a counselor, most people come with extramarital affairs. This is the case. Most cases you people will get initially will be this, because people are struggling with these relationships, right? So what you can do, you can get your moral values in between and like, this is wrong. Or you let that person be, her or him. This person is coming to you because this person knows that she or he needs some help there. Right, wrong to bahut dur ki baat hai. This is what that person is feeling then. This is how that person is thinking. Then all you can do is stand by that person, listen, and then see what can be done to, empower that person to think for himself or herself. I don't know, this example has really struck a chord. I mean, I don't say that I don't judge at all, even today. We do. That is a human nature, right?
Right.
But I become very conscious immediately. Okay, am I into judging? I need to step back.
Right.
So this is the course, Monica. Honestly, this is the course, and also the willingness to change it very consciously. Who will stop me from judging? If I judge you now, you will not even know that I'm judging.
Right.
But then it's such a pressure on our brain, right? I'm judging you, I'm thinking about you. What am I going to get? Instead, I, do something else that helps me.
Right. So it is more about self-control, I think.
More about self-control. Also realization, not just control. Many people don't even realize that this thought process needs to change.
Right.
So that is the first thing. I have to first acknowledge that I have this problem, whatever it is, and then, okay, do I want to change it? If I don't, it's fine. It's your choice. But if I want to change it, there is a way. You can definitely move ahead.
Right. So everything kind of boils down to, do you want to change whatever it is that is happening? Everything just comes down to this, that if you want to change it, you can change it. But if you come to a point where you don't want to change, then, nobody...
And that also is okay. Yeah, that also is okay, right? If I'm happy with judging, if that is what gives me pleasure,
that's also okay.
Who am I to tell the other person that that's wrong? Let her decide for herself, right? She's an adult too. All we can do is give tips and empower the person that, okay, if you don't judge, rather instead invest the time doing this, maybe again this, A results in B, but C may result in D or E.
Right.
This is one example that I always stick by, that helps me.
Yeah, so it does. I think I read about it somewhere, if you keep doing the same things and expecting the same results or different results, that's not how it works. You have to do different things to expect different results.
Yes. This was also taught in our class. This was also taught that break the pattern. You keep trying different things to get different outcomes. And it does help.
It does. Now that you are counseling actively, giving counseling to other people, how has this experience been like, going from somebody who is struggling? Obviously, it never ends. You are always struggling with something or the other. Nobody is perfect.
Always.
But going from, having mental health issues of your own and going from there to now talking to people and trying to deal with their mental health issues. How do you feel as a counselor now? Like, how has your experience been?
So there is also a small experience here that I would like to share. I got the degree in 2021,
Right.
and after I got the degree, within few months, I just got the degree and I had menopause, early menopause. I was 39, so that was quite early for me, and that led to complete hormonal imbalance, right?
Right.
Completely. I was
Right.
just bedridden because of leg pain, and that leg pain was not the thigh pain, slip disc.
Right.
That was slip
Okay.
disc, crying entire day. Initial few months, I just could not figure out why I was not having periods. So with so many tests and all, because I did not expect sudden menopause like that. Sudden, it was
Right.
just sudden.
Yeah.
But then so many people told me that, with menopause, depression comes in, and it's a very natural process and all. So it was just, I completed the degree. I'm so aware of myself now. I'm so aware of my negativities, my positives, everything. Yet there is this clinical thing that has now. So
Right.
how do you fight that? I remember slip disc had gone to its peak. I would not be able to work for 2 months. My family would, lift me, put me in the car, then take me home. It was that bad.
Right.
So I went to the best neurologist of Bangalore. My husband found out who is the best and all. He took me, and that man immediately put me again on depression medicine. No neurology, nothing. He said, "ये पूरा complete hormonal imbalance है. Slip disc का problem you have because most women after childbirth and all those things, you go through this. That's
Right.
not serious. It is your mental health. वो
Right.
ज़्यादा problem.
Right.
So I had been to neurologist ने antidepressant दिया, psychiatrist ने antidepressant दिया. My gynecologist gave antidepressant. Thank God the three all combined, and they gave me something. I was fine in few months. But that's when I was not being able to handle my depression. I went to a healer. So the healer said, the first thing she told me is, you need to stop counseling. I said, why? That gives me so much happiness, working, listening to people, trying to figure things out for them. I said, no, because you are absorbing people's pain. Your pain is becoming more. So the first thing you do is stop counseling.
Okay.
That made me very miserable. Yeah. So
Right.
I remember I had taken paid fees and all for 3 months healing. I stopped it within 15 to 20 days. I said, no, that's not going to work for me. As much as I understand that when you are in pain, how do you handle others' pain?
Right.
Also, I don't understand that why can't I separate my pain and others' pain? This is what I have been taught to do.
Right.
My pain, my struggles are one way, but that does not mean it will come in between someone else's too. I did take a break. I did take few months break then, honestly. But the healer made me very miserable. By constantly saying that you have to stop doing this, you have to stop active on social media and all those stuff. So as a counselor now that I think I'm out of depression, now that I think I know how to handle my sadness, my problems, my struggles, I think this is one thing that gives me a lot of sadness when you look at people, see them crying, right? Feeling very helpless. It also gives me a lot of satisfaction to know that I can understand and I can, give them some other perspectives which will help them. So this is honestly a huge satisfaction from my side, because I know that if they keep coming, I always tell them at least 4 to 5 sessions you give yourself. At least this much time. The sadness is people don't do that. I didn't do that at one point. I cannot
Right.
They don't come for more than maybe 3 sessions or so, but 5 sessions, and if they trust you have the ability to explain few small things to them that will make a big difference in them.
Right.
I just hope people give these small chances to the therapists, give them some time.
Right.
So that also, it's just a change of perspective. We'll never say that you are wrong, because nobody is wrong. Just that again, the A to B and C to D.
Right. Yeah, and this is something I can totally relate to, because I did the same thing, right? After 2 sessions, I hated my therapist so much. I went out looking for other therapists. कि मुझे ये नहीं पसंद, मैं पसंद.
One thing that I have started doing very consciously now, I don't know how much, by the theory of therapy, or the rules of therapists, the rules that a therapist should follow. Honestly, I don't know how much it is there or not. I know a person comes to me for therapy for 1 session, right? 1 session. That person will decide for the next session. I make it a point that in one session, that person goes back with at least one learning, at least one learning to how to look at the things differently. I have made it a very solid point, and the feedback that I have got is like, after listening to you, Veda, these are the few changes that I have made. I know they'll not come back to me another 6 months. They'll do that after 6 months, 7 months. These learnings get, exhausted, then the people face different problems. But this is one thing I do very consciously. I wanted to say this, I cannot let the first session go by just letting them speak. Why are they paying? Why are they here? 1 hour they speak and I don't tell them anything to make a small change. I don't think it's not worth it, going to someone for 1 hour. Why will I open my life so much to you for 1 hour and then I get nothing out of it? So something that person has to get. So this is one thing I make sure that the person does not go empty.
Right. Okay. So now I will give the floor to you and you can tell our viewers directly where they can reach you, how they can reach you, and what kind of counseling do you provide. Right?
I'm very new in this profession. I have not specialized in any area like child counseling, couples counseling. I have not done that yet. So the very basic counseling I do, I generally get women. I generally talk to women. They are the ones who reach out to me. Sometimes for parenting tips. I'm also learning. I also share with them what I'm learning and what is working for me, if that helps. Mostly with marital problems, differences of opinions, divorces sometimes, extramarital. These are honestly the few areas that I have been working on for last 2.5 years. I'm again saying, very, very basic counseling, very basic, honestly, the simple problems of life where we get stuck and little help will make you move forward. That is what I do. I don't have a page or anything for my counseling yet. I can be just reached at 98862 62255. That's my WhatsApp number, contact number. Anybody can call or WhatsApp me and book an appointment there.
Thank you for telling our viewers that, Veda. I hope that, people who are, because these, like the problems that you said, are very, very basic problems that we suffer through, in our daily lives, but they can have a very large impact because they will inhibit us in doing something that is very, very basic to us. And even if it is something as simple as, you are not able to concentrate on your work, you should, and you are not able to identify the cause, then you should definitely talk to somebody, your friends or a therapist. Professional therapy obviously always works. So thank you for that.
Parents, we miss out on small boundaries.
Right.
That only a professional knows. So.
Yes. Before we wrap up, you have talked to so many people. You have yourself undergone therapy. If you could just pinpoint the top 3 tips or advice that you would give to any person to kind of function properly and to understand their mental health, the top 3 advice that you give to most of your customers, what would that be?
So that is very simple. Something that I have followed. I cannot tell something that I have not followed myself, right? So point 1 is be open. Be open about knowing yourself. Unless you are open to knowing yourself, you don't figure out what is going on inside, right? Secondly, focusing on what others are doing, we should focus on how we are reacting to what others are doing.
Right.
So most of our energy goes in thinking, उसने ये क्यों किया, उसने ऐसे क्यों बोला, वो ऐसी क्यों है, मैं ऐसी क्यों हूँ, वो तो ऐसी ही है, मैं ऐसी क्यों हूँ, is more important.
Right.
Yeah, it helps.
Right.
It helps. Thirdly is, I would say it's not easy, but practice being non-judgmental. There are people who, even if we don't judge, will hurt us so much. It's good to stay away from them. Some people are like that, right? But there are others who do. We all do. We make mistakes, but not because we want to hurt someone, but because we are, conditioned that way. We were brought up that way. So it's okay to give time to a person, try to understand that person instead of saying he is bad or she is bad. Chhod diya, kabhi kabhi. Thoda time we can give, So be non-judgmental, and acceptance is so important about myself, about my own self, and about the other person I am in touch with, whoever that person is. I'm not saying कि except करते करते उसने किसी को मार दिया तो वो भी accept कर.
Right.
Not that. But we are wise enough to know कि कहाँ पे stop करना है.
Right.
People give up very easily these days on everything. I don't know if lack of patience or what, but we all do. We give up. Like नहीं बन रहा है तो चलो कुछ और मिल जाएगा. थोड़ा time देके ना, anything can be nurtured a little bit. This worked for me. This is why I'm saying that.
Right. I agree. Totally agree. Because, relationships are, difficult. They are difficult. No matter how much
Very
you love each other or whatever, they are difficult and you have to keep working
difficult
on
children.
it.
Not just couples, right? Even a mother and a child. Such difficult relationships.
Very
these days.
difficult. Yeah.
Everything is very difficult. Yes. Just give time. Be it your work, be it your relationship, be it, about grooming yourself. Anything you do, just we don't need to be a little patient and give it some time before we come to a conclusion.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you on that. And thank you so much, Veda, for sharing your story with us. It has been so insightful and I've connected with you on so many levels on this. Thank you so much.
I'm so glad for you having me here. Thank you, Monica.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I'm back. Alright, that was Veda and that was her journey through depression, through anxiety and through psychosomatic pain. I am so happy to know that in this long journey she was able to identify her issues and seek help for them and became capable of helping others. This is something very few people do and I admire you so much for that, Veda. If you are somebody who is looking for this kind of help, the services that Veda offers, please get in touch with her. I will leave her contact information down in the description section of this video and you can get in touch with her. Her rates are very affordable and she is very unbiased, non-judgmental, and I promise you that you will receive a listening ear and a lot of empathy. This conversation was in a way a reflection of my own journey towards mental health because in the beginning of the year, like I said in my previous video, I undertook therapy sessions for 3 months and I went through the same set of circumstances as Veda and I can totally relate to her experience of hating your therapist and then going on to love them so much that they helped you achieve something that you have been without for so many years. And I totally resonate with what she has said that the first step that we have to take is to understand ourselves, to understand how we react to a situation, because at the end of the day it is only our reactions and our actions that we can control. So for our mental peace, I think it is very important to understand how we behave in a certain situation rather than pointing the finger outwards. And this is something that over and over again in all the videos that I have done for mental health, whether it is with Kajal or with Ronak or with Smita for that matter, all of them have said the same thing over and over again, that rather than pointing our fingers outwards, we must always point the fingers towards us. What is it that we need? What are our expectations? What is it that is not getting fulfilled? And only then will we be able to understand what is it that is bothering us. I hope you have been able to connect with whatever Veda has said and you are going away from this video with a lot of insight on how you can achieve a little bit of mental peace. That's it for today's video, guys. Thank you for joining me today and thank you for watching us talk about this very important topic. I'll see you next week. Until then, love and light to you. Bye bye.